Hey everybody, it's your boy Kid Crypto, and this is our first stream. Congratulations! We're gonna dive into a lot of good information, give a background of what this stream's gonna be about. So we're gonna be hitting a lot of key topics. One of them being cryptocurrencies, big topic over the years, and I get asked the questions a lot of, can you trust crypto? What is crypto? Is it even something that's going to be part of our future, etc.? And then I also get steered to, well, if it hits those check boxes of, importance at solving issues, it provides a lot of utilitarian value to our financial economies and let alone individuals, then which cryptos do we even look at? Where do we start? What do we dive into? And, we're going to be touching that. On top of that, I'm going to touch, are we in a bull run? How do we look at the charts themselves and determine, are we still on an upward trend? Because there's retracements here and there, and I think anybody who's been in the game long enough understands that there's peaks and valleys no matter if it's a bear or bull run. Let's be real. That being said, the final piece will be the section where y'all come into play. Send me what cryptos you're looking at. Where do we start researching together and dive into more information and find out what we can about crypto projects that many of these elite individuals and institutions and wealthy people are putting their money, and that's most important. Let's follow the paper trail. So the two cryptos I want to touch base on that are close to my heart are going to be XRP and Shiba Inu. I think, we've seen a lot of mixed information over the years, especially about SEC going after Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse and his team, and Chris Larson, who was part of that back in 2020. The SEC filed their lawsuit. And then you got, Shiba Inu. You got Satoshi with one of these huge layer 2 projects built upon the Ethereum blockchain, which is really important. So the reason why I want to dive into these two is because, I've seen people say XRP is going to zero. And, I've seen the same many hate on Shiba Inu. And it's just intriguing to me because I'm going to show you what has driven my decisions on why I know I'm going to be able to retire before many just by putting money into such. And again, I'm going to stop the stream there and let you know I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just showing you how to do research and use that research to your own knowledge to make logical decisions with your money. You shouldn't be just holding cash. That's my personal opinion. But again, not financial advice. Not here to sell you on anything. And as we grow in numbers and gain subscribers and keep putting out videos and things, I want you to know that that revenue stream will be put back into y'all. We'll do some giveaways and have some fun with it. But yeah, let's dive in. So we know the SEC has, went after Ripple and XRP, and Judge Torres made one of the most critical rulings in history, mentioning that the sales, over 98% of the sales, made on public exchanges through their own Howey testing system didn't violate any security laws. That it was, to the knowledge of her, was a digital asset, a commodity. And so the reason why that's so important is because I was like, okay, well, what is XRP trying to accomplish? They're accomplishing a cross-border payment system with the efficiency of XRP, with a network that is instantaneous, very low fees, and meant for the centralized banking systems. And so when I looked at that, I was like, I want to see who's playing in this game with XRP, right? So I, through searching, found out that the SEC.gov's website has this filing tool called Edgar. When you click on Edgar here, what it's going to do is bring you to their search database that allows you to do searches through keywords, phrases, etc. You can explore these other ones on your own. But when you look at pull up their search page, it pulls up this window here, and I'm just going to type in XRP. I'm going to show you another search here in a second, so I'm just going to search here. And you can see in the last 5 years, and play with these different categories. But you can see we have 674 results in the last 5 years. Right now, it's putting the furthest back at the front. So I'm going to click on File Date here and get the most recent ones up front. You can see 5/23/24. Today's the 23rd. So you can see we have a S1 registration. I know what this form is. And typically, many of you probably have heard of this form, but if you don't, just go to Google and use that as your best friend. But type in, what is this? What is the S1? It's the registration statement with the SEC requiring domestic issuers to file an order to publicly offer new securities. Well, why is that important? Well, are ETF securities? And when you think of that statement, you're going to find out that ETFs and mutual funds, etc., are baskets of individual securities. Well, what do we know that recently got approved back in January? BTC, Bitcoin's ETFs. So under XRPs, you got VanEck. Here's the entity over here. You can even go to entity here and select your different ones. And that's going to be important here in a second when I talk about a few other things here. But you can see that VanEck just on the 23rd did another S1 filing. And I'm like, okay. Well, let me scroll through and see what else is going on. You got ARK, you got Infinite, Bitwise, Galaxy. But if you scroll back to the beginning of the year, here's what's intriguing. Every single hedge fund that filed for Bitcoin's ETFs updated their forms back in the beginning of January. And I come to find out something that many of you have heard of. You've heard of CBOE, CBOE, the Chicago board, and why that's so important. I found that they're a self-regulatory organization, or SRO. We'll get into that here in a little bit, why that's important. So anyway, looking through all of this, I'm like, okay, does that mean ETFs are coming for XRP? Absolutely. Do you think they're not going to take the only cryptocurrency out of every single 14,000 plus? Where I get that number from is I use old trustworthy CoinGecko, and you can see there's 14.4K coins in existence to date. There could be more, could be less, but they're tracking the ones with their tracking systems, and they got 14,000. So anyway, the only cryptocurrency to date, XRP, has a federal court ruling in the largest GDP in the world. That's the U.S. explaining that their sales on public institutions make it a digital commodity. And then you get Bitcoin ETFs, and then you get them filing their forms for XRP all back in January. And I was like, okay, well, if that's not enough for me to put the naysayers to bed, let's dive into some of this stuff. Let's look at some of the entities. Their number one filer is Data 443 Risk Mitigation. Never heard of them. And they used to be known as Landstar. If I go and hit filed and bring the most current to date, you can see they're filing literally every month. S1s, 10Qs, and 10Ks. If I go to 10K and just show you what this form looks like, again, on your own time, I'll let you go through this, but they got this thing called Data 443 Blockchain Protection Manager, also known as Classy Docs, provides an active implementation for the Ripple XRP that protects blockchain transactions from inadvertent disclosure and data leaks. Okay. Huh. Many of you might say, well, why? Who cares? But you can see up here, access control, Google, Suite, Microsoft OneDrive, and others are using such. You're like, well, if that's not big enough, let's Google them. Who are they? I'm going to scroll up here, and I already had this pulled up, but you can just go to Google and search who they are, and it'll bring up this, and you can go Y Data 443, leadership, etc. So let's just go to Y. And as this pulls up here, my internet's a little bit slower than most. I'm out in the middle of nowhere using satellite internet. Thank you, Elon Musk. I'm not here to sell anything, but I will say I used a top satellite provider, and that was shit. And then I switched to Elon Musk's Starlink and never looked back. I have like 15 devices, including my Xbox, connected, and I'm able to actually video game, which is nice. So thank you, Elon. But what's in a name? Port 443 is a standard port for all secured HTTP traffic. Again, I repeat, port 443 is the standard port for all secured HTTP traffic. Well, that's not enough for you. Let's see what's going on here. I mean, you can go through company history timeline, go back, and you can see in Ripple validator launches, 2018. Almost messed that up, but I'm like, okay, why is this important? I mean, SEC filing, government stocks, etc., press releases, resources. I'm like, there's got to be something here that talks about who uses them, right? Well, it was right on their homepage. Let me go back here and show you. So they're securing data for people. But then you got the naysayers that might say, that become a smartass and say, who cares? Who uses them? Never heard of them. Oh, really? Trusted for decades by, and let's just scroll through here, Comcast, Sky, Dominion, Toshiba, Southern. Oh, if that's not big enough for you. Let's go Harvard, UNC, Texas A&M. Come on, fudders, where you at? Farmer Bureau, Cruise Bank and Trust. Oh, United States Air Force. Go figure. Pacific Life, Rochester, New York, Hewlett Packard, Leidos. And some of you might say, well, who the hell's that? I mean, if you remember, they merged with Lockheed Martin. I remember that in the news. It was just something that came across after searching through financial articles and saw their merger. But they're with Lockheed Martin's IT sector. I wanted to see their net worth and just see how many billions they were working with. But so they're trusted for decades by some huge government and non-government entities in the world. They're securing Ripple's network to set up to have banks and huge institutions be able to send secured payments in an instantaneous fashion with next to no fees. They're doing it right in front of your face, and they're using the big partners for such. That's why Brad and them keep talking about flipping a switch. I mean, they're going to flip it, and they're going to flip it hard. I mean, one thing to look at, and this numbers don't lie, right? So if you pull up XRP and look at their market cap, back in 2020 when they brought their case against them, you can see here, they started to go down. They went down hard. They went down to their lowest yet, down here. But what's amazing about this is before the SEC lawsuit, if you go and you look, they had over $125 billion market cap. More than Ethereum at the time. They're meant to battle Ethereum for the top spot. Sorry, VB, they are. And you can see, even during this downward spiral from the SEC's just outrageous lawsuit, to me, my theory is the SEC has been searching for funds knowing that their funding is getting cut because they were a losing battle going head to head with crypto, a multi-trillion-dollar market class that they were trying to attack, and you're going to lose that, SEC, but they need money for their budget, so they went after the big players. Figures they go after them after they touch over $100+ billion market cap. Go figure. But even during this downward trend, if you look over time, XRP has always been in the top 8 to 5 cryptos in the entire world with market cap. Even after the SEC's suppression, the SEC could not suppress them from being the top cryptocurrency. So they were in the top 10 always, at all times. And now when they're getting towards the end of their journey with the SEC's lawsuit, you got FIT21 coming into play probably. They're going to get a much lower settlement than the outrageous ask that they're asking for. You're going to see this project flip a switch. You're going to see a 3 to 4 digit price for XRP. They don't want to send 1 million XRP for $1 million transaction. No. They want to send 100. And if you take a calculator and take 1 million divided by 100, you're telling me that that's impossible? It's not. I mean, even if you cut that down to $1,000 per XRP, y'all think that's crazy? Go ahead, think it's crazy. But it's inevitable. What they built to have centralized money across the world and assets and gold And all of these things will be able to back such for them to be able to move large amounts of money. And they're bringing out their stablecoin. They're building the liquidity just like Ethereum did. And they're going to go crazy. Not financial advice, common sense. The logic is there. I personally think it's going to be over $100 by the end of next year. That's just my personal opinion. Take it as you may. And, let's watch history together, right? So, coming back here, that was one area I started with. And so one of the other ones I want to show you that I thought was intriguing, and we're going to call him out, is, fuck you, Jamie Dimon. The reason why I say fuck you is because you're somebody who have said, if you forget, what does Jamie Dimon say about crypto? This dumbass says Bitcoin is a scam, it fails as a currency, blah, blah, blah. Although they're the number one authorized participant on every ETF filing. That includes Ethereum, which we'll dive into here in a second. But you can see there's over 10,000 results in the last 5 years just with the word cryptocurrency. And I'm going to it's out of habit. I always click the file date. But I'm going to come back to this category here, an entity, and expose Jamie for a second. Tell me why JP Morgan, all their different locations, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, are the largest entities with the most filings. Everything from S1s, S10s, 10Ks, 10Qs, annual share reports, anything you can think of, they have been filing. If I just go to JP Morgan here, you can go through and click on form and see what these forms are, for example. If I come back here and say, well, let me look at this one. Again, I'll let you go on your own time and look up what these different symbols mean. You can come here and see all the different types of forms that they're filing. And they're doing it right in front of people. And then yet he's going to come out here and bash. Why is he bashing it? Because after going through these, JP Morgan is big on blockchains and smart contracts. Hint, Ethereum. So they're always going to bash it's like Samsung versus Apple. They're going to bash the competitor. But that doesn't work here. Sorry, Jamie, let's expose you for a second. The reason why that's important is because, if Warren Buffett's telling you to block out the noise, then why are you listening to somebody that says this and is literally lying to you when you go and look at all the stuff that they're putting time, effort, money, investments in? He's literally doing it right in front of y'all, and yet you're going to believe him. No wonder why they say retail's so emotional with their investments. Y'all freak out over one little retracement or one bad news article because y'all don't take the time to dive into it, decipher it. And that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to judge you. I've been victim to such, but over the years you start learning and you become resilient, and you start learning how to do good research. So with that being said, let's go into Shiba. So same search tool here. Went ahead and searched Shiba. I just wanted to see if it had anything, right? You're like, what? So 48 results. I'm just going to re-click the search just to see if there's any more, just to make sure. Yeah, so 48. I'm going to click that special file date here. And we're going to see 10Qs, prospect and materials. I'm like, what is this, right? So I click here. And this form is important because it's going to tell you what they're holding. The reason why, so I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to show y'all. 485 BPOS. So we're going to, what is, you're like, what is this? Because it's all this junk, right? And you're going to find out that it's literally just them explaining, hey, this is what we have, right? So this is what we're holding. And you can see here, crypto asset accounts and their digital holdings are reportable. This would include investments in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba, Inu. I'm like, okay, well, why are they investing? Who's Pacific Select Fund? Well, that rings a bell because if you come back to data 443, let's just scroll through here. The joy of satellite internet, right? I'm just kidding. So as we come through here, you're going to see that one of the big players that they have here is Pacific Life Fund, right? And it's a huge life insurance company, right here, Pacific Life. And if you remember, we went ahead and looked up their holdings, etc. Well, Pacific Select Fund, if you see, they're off a Pacific Life. They're a specific fund that's built in to their life insurance that does investments, etc., into certain things. And so they're exploring with crypto assets. Okay. Well, if I come back here and I see Robinhood, I notice some of these. Well, wait a minute. Goldman Sachs. Hey, wait a minute. You're telling me Goldman Sachs is in it as well? Let's see. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Huh. Okay. Discretionary accounts, crypto asset accounts. Okay. I know you all have heard of Goldman Sachs, right? But Morgan Stanley Pathway Funds? No way. Go figure. Okay, Morgan Stanley. The reason why at Fidelity, okay. I point this out because I want people to see some of these banks. I told you, don't go into crypto. They don't want you to because they don't want you to be in on what they're about to take to the greatest realms of massive returns. CZ said it several years ago that crypto is less than 1% adopted. And as big governments begin to adopt such and recognize such and regulate such, that adoption rate grows, and it's growing new millionaires and new money. Like, it's growing people who have money. They take a chance. They're doing something in an investment format because they're looking at the data. They're looking at the research behind it, saying, "Oh, all the big players are getting involved. Look at this." So you got S4 registrations, S1 from who's Compo Secure. I remember seeing that name. I'm like, what the heck is that, right? So let me just close this new window here, and I think I have them. Yeah. So investor relations. They were founded in 2000. NASDAQ's symbol is CMPO. Technology partner to market leaders, fintechs, and consumer enabling trust for millions of people around the globe. The company combines elegance, simplicity, and security to deliver exceptional experiences and peace of mind in the physical and digital world. Okay. And they're out here filing with Shiba Inu, doing an S1 registration. And what's intriguing, and this tool is really nice because it allows you to, it's going to highlight the words that you searched in the tool, so you can just hit this previous or next button. It's going to give you this name, and you can see under here, cryptocurrency digital asset. Let me repeat that word, asset. Okay, they've already knew which ones were going to be assets before this whole bullshit in the news creating noise argument started of which ones were and which ones weren't. Gary, we know you were paid off by somebody. We know. And sure, it might never come about, but we're not dumb. We know what you said at MIT versus fast forward to when you became the chair of the SEC. Who paid you to change your mind? Who paid you to attack it to allow the big players to get in? It was all staged. We're not stupid. I mean, if you want to believe it, go ahead and enjoy your little, Housewives of Crypto episode. But some of us already knew what was coming. XRP, Shiba, Polygon, Chili's Axie, Tether. I mean, these are where you could actually start with and picking your coins. So, I mean, again, on your own time, go through a lot of these, kind of dive in. I know some people are like, well, what about XLM? Just explore. Type it in here. Search, go and see. Oh, look at that, 472 results. Let me go ahead and click file date, and you'll see they got S1s, Grayscales, Mini Trust. I mean, these are the same hedge funds that got Bitcoin's ETFs approved after a 10-year battle. Go figure. And they're right there at your fingertips filing with others. I mean, XEC, let's see if they have anything. Look at that, 671 results. Some of it might be crypto, some of it might not be if there was something else, but you'll be able to tell. So explore with that. And the reason why that's important is because I didn't stop there. I don't just take my hard-earned money and put it into places and say, oh, I'm done, right? And what I mean by that is I don't take my money and just go off of what some person I never heard of on YouTube or something like that. Even, I've followed Austin Hilton, Zach Humphreys, a lot of these, YouTubers that have been covering crypto for years, Crypto Hulk, and y'all put out great stuff. But people need to learn how to do good research and really understand what they're getting into, not just put your money into it because these people said so. So that's why I'm launching mine, is to show you this is what I do. Follow the breadcrumbs. One of the things that's big in this world is patents. And if you type in US patent searches, again, we're sticking with XRP and Shiba. I want to come into here and see that there's this patent public search tool. I'm just going to click the public search, right? And I want to see who is filing what on cryptocurrencies, on XRP, on SHIB. You can do a basic or advanced. I'm going to click advanced. And I want to do an advanced search on these and see, are they even patenting anything? Are they even creating something new and solving new problems? Are they providing us something better and, more of an output for the user? So yeah, let's go ahead and see here. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to start with basic, actually. And then I remember when I did basic, then I went to advanced. But you'll be able to see here, it kind of does it. Reminds me of like a SQL style setup of and this or that, And so this is, I'm going to go and type in XRP and crypto. I'm just going to search. Search results, 382 blockchain-based electronic document vault. That was just filed on the 23rd. Apparatus and method for creating non-fungible token NFT for future user experiences. System and method of providing simplified in-store purchase and in-app purchase for using a use interface-based payment system and API. Okay. Thank you. These are things that I've went through a lot of these documents, and a lot of them point out a lot of crucial information of what they're creating. Literally right in front of us, they're making everything more user-friendly with cryptos, because you can transfer cryptos among networks into a bank all within 24 hours. Coinbase alone is allowing me to cash out when I do trading or anything, and if I cash out to my bank account, it's there sometimes the same day, and if depending on the time, it's there the next morning, like almost instant. Shout out to you, Coinbase, for doing such. But this has driven me to really see, like, they're creating bank cards, in-app purchases, NFTs. Literally, there's governance style payment systems that they're creating, that they're patenting. So if I go here and go government, you can just search and see if anything comes up. And you can see 315 bank-driven model for preventing double spending of digital currency transfers between multiple DLT networks using a trusted intermediary. Okay. What? And then you can come in here to the PDF and actually look at it. It's going to take a second to load because there's probably many pages. But go through, see what they're creating. See that they're literally in front of you, changing how we do finance. I have my own theories. I think, the smartest people with the most money in the world realized we had a failing cash greed system and said, let's create systems that people have their own destiny to create out of a DeFi style financial structure that integrates with centralized systems. Like, this is happening right in front of you. And people keep asking, can we trust crypto? Well, can we? Numbers don't lie. 2.683 trillion market cap. There's only like 5 companies on Wall Street with $1 trillion market cap. And this asset class is booming. Almost back to its all-time high, even while it's technically down. It's an overall market cap of $3+ trillion. And right in front of your faces, they've been growing it. And you can see here, back in September 2023, they were kind of just sitting stagnant. They dipped it one time after October, and ever since then it's been climbing up, going right back to where we touched over 3 trillion right here, little over 3 trillion, and they're back climbing it right in front of your faces. And you're going to ask me if we can trust it? It's been on a bull run since last year. Last October, they've been running it since. Look at this. They took it from, market cap. And if you look here, I can go 1.1 trillion, 1.7 trillion by December. Okay, $600 billion in a couple of months. And then they dip it a little bit. And they and it's funny because they dip it after we got good news. We get good news that Bitcoin's getting these ETFs. And after the ETFs, they dip it to confuse you. The retailers get emotional. They sell because the rich are exhausting you. Literally exhausting you. And then afterwards, they run it all the way up here to 2.8 trillion. 2.8 trillion from all the way down here. Over $1 trillion. Over a fucking $1 trillion. In a short amount of time, too. In less than 3 months, they run it at 1.1 trillion. And you're still going to ask me, can I trust crypto? I think that answers your question there. Which that actually takes me to the next part is I want to show you how we look at, this is, are we in a bull run question? I think I started to answer it there by showing you the charts, but let's go to XRP or SHIB or any of them. I'll start with Bitcoin. In the 24 hours, you can see, oh, well, it's red. That's logically, yes, it is red, sure. But that's 24 hours. What about 7 days? Okay, it's green. If you bought 7 days ago back here at 65, you're at 67, well, a little over $2,000 profit. Not bad. You could have had over here $5-6 grand profit, depending. You go 1 month. Let's see. 1 month ago we were at 66, and we're at 67. Still $1,000 up. This is what I call consolidation over this month. They're just consolidating. They're exhausting you, retailers. Stop getting emotional with your money. Stop it. Do good research. If you do good research and block out the noise, your money will grow. And you'll stop getting confused and letting them do this to you, where you sell down here and then they run it right up after. 3 months, nice little run up. 3 months ago, we were at 50,000, so you're up 17 grand. But still consolidate. Like after they had this run up, then right through all through here, consolidation. For the last couple months, they're just consolidating. Let's go 1 year. Look at that, $26,000 for a Bitcoin 1 year ago. Damn! Imagine getting a Bitcoin for 26,000. You're not going to get that again. You won't get that again. But buy a couple there, watch it go, keep going. 1 year later, you could have sold somewhere even right here and been happy, doubled your money, but you held on. All through here, they exhausted retailers, and then they sold up here at 73. And then they sold, and then you can see right through here, these last couple of months, they're consolidating, poison for the next breakout up. It's just picture perfect. My God. You go max here, and you look. So, when people are telling me, oh my God, crypto's, it's red, people are retracing, I tell them, show me. Numbers don't lie here, charts don't lie. And we had our sell-offs down here, but look, they make their first leg up here. They're about to make their next leg up. You can see how many leg ups, down, up, down, up, down. Just for that first, I call this a head and shoulders, the first shoulder, head, another shoulder, down. Correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not, but that's how I see it. But that first shoulder up, multiple peaks and valleys, inching it all the way up to its, back then, 63,000 all-time high. I think that's, yeah. And then they knocked it all the way down just a few months later. All the way down to 31, even a little bit lower. And then they took it all the way up here, right in front of your faces. And then they knock it down. They're doing the same thing every 4 years. They're literally doing it. The reason why this is, I think, bigger now is because we're getting things like this. This just passed. So press release of FIT 21 provides regulatory clarity and robust consumer protections necessary for digital asset ecosystems to thrive in the United States. Why is that important? just go here and look. United States is the largest GDP. You're getting the largest GDP out here, given regulatory clarity on which ones are digital assets. We know XRP is going to be there, Bitcoin, Ethereum. If Ethereum is, then their layer twos are, which Jamie Dimon, again, fuck you, Jamie. So Jamie Dimon clarified that if a cryptocurrency can offer something useful, like a smart contract, which holds inherent value, then blockchain technology has a purpose. Well, he just doesn't like the old store of value. So he's using Bitcoin to his advantage to make money off fees with these ETFs as an authorized participant, probably storing value in it as we speak. And yet he's telling you with cryptocurrency projects that have some type of use, like smart contracts, there's other projects out there that offer gaming utility, music utility, cloud storage utility, all of these things that are going to make so much better for the user to utilize on a blockchain. And he's telling you right here, well, Ethereum uses such. He's heavily invested in Ethereum and blockchain technology that surrounds itself around Ethereum. Well, they've also said layer twos are very important because that gives another business or individual the option to utilize Ethereum's amazing smart contracts and blockchains just built upon it on a cheaper option like a layer 2 like SHIB with its Shibarium. You know, now you got Shibarium with Shiba Swap integrated onto the blockchain. I mean, Satoshi, I still think you're Elon Musk, but I get it. You have an NDA out there. And if you're not, I understand. It's just my theory. But you're somebody important, and whatever you've done is amazing because you're making an everything app. I mean, the reason why, Elon said they're making an everything app for Twitter, so it only makes sense. But they're coming out with an everything app for SHIB. You're going to have these things having the user be able to integrate, getting paid while paying others, while playing video game and doing all this, all within one because of blockchain technology. And it's going to be secure and safe because you got Data 443 and other companies out there finding different ways to ensure that the user will be safe with doing transactions. You get the individuals like Elizabeth Warren talking about, criminals use it. Okay. But if you do your research, you'll find out a dumb criminal is using cryptocurrencies. It's traceable. They see it on the blockchain, every transaction. They can ping the location. Even if you use a VPN, if you're doing it at billions or millions of dollars, they're going to hack that and go right in and see who's using it. They're going to be able to see that. See, okay, this wallet in this area did this transfer and stole all these funds. So a dumb criminal is using crypto. They're going to use dollars or paper money of any other currency before they touch crypto because that's harder to trace. Let's just be real. But again, he's bashing Bitcoin stuff just because that's not his heavy player. His heavy player is right here. And it's funny that he's talking about it before Ethereum ETFs come out, which leads me into that. How do we look into that? Well, I mentioned SIBO. And the reason why I mention this is the Chicago Board Options Exchange. They are a self-regulatory organization, right? And I found that out through several filings here. And let's go here, and I'll just exit here and type in, what is a self-regulatory organization? Oh, I clicked the second one. That's how sometimes I get too excited. SRO is an entity such as a non-governmental organization which has the power to create and enforce standalone industry, and you'll see here, authority. They can actually create their own regulations, basically. And professional regulations and standards on its own. Hello, SIBO. So SIBO actually has pressed, I didn't mean to click sign in, but they have pressed for this because if you come in here and you type in Ethereum, right? And let's just search their site. So you got these things going here they already got the global 21 shares. They got these forms out here that you can go through. I'll let you go through on your own time, but I'm going to click this first one. Global X 21 shares Ethereum ETF. I'll let you go through and read this and see They've already been setting this up, and y'all thought this was not going to get approved. A self-regulatory organization told the SEC basically, screw you, we're doing this. We have more money and you get money off of us, so we're doing it, whether you like it or not. Sorry, Gary. And then, so you come in here, and there's a section here where you can see different filings they make, and you can go through and actually read here to list and trade the shares of VanEck Ethereum Trust under the BXZ rule. This, okay, well, what the hell does that mean? Yeah, Google's your best friend. Exchange proposes to list and trade under this BXZ rule. So you can actually go through and read that they created their own rules for themselves to list Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP's coming, their own ETFs, because they want, which governs the list, the trading of commodity-based trust shares. They're telling you that they already are working with the correct people to create a regulatory framework around which ones are assets and which ones are not. I cannot stress this enough. This is all the type of research that you should be doing. I'm breaking down hours and hours and hours, days of research to show y'all just a blimp of what I've been doing on two cryptocurrencies that I keep mentioning, XRP and SHIB, and do they serve a purpose? Absolutely. I mean, through the SEC filings to get these ETFs on XRP, they're coming. I have a feeling they come before the end of 2024. Actually, I would put my stream up for bid. With like basically is, yes, I can bet my stream that it would. Shiba Inu, are they important? Well, look who's holding them. Look who's investing in them. Look who they're built upon. And then you got Jamie Dimon talking about blockchain technology and smart contracts that do such. Well, Ethereum does. That means it's layer 2s. So you can go here and type in layer 2. And there's a part where he says if it can do something. Then he talks about, I think it was Goldman Sachs that talks about layer 2s. I could be wrong. I would have to go back and find it. But yeah, I mean, you have SIBO over here literally telling you, hey, this is what we're doing. And so if I come back here, there's one here that actually will show you. Let's see here. Here you go. Look at this. Amendment number 1. You can go back through all of these. I just want to show you what this looks like. So if you come approved and immediately effective rule changes. The exchange proposes to amend its listing fees. The exchange proposes to amend its rulings related to continued education persons. The exchange proposes to amend the Franklin Bitcoin ETF shares which are listed and traded on exchanges in pursuant of this. The exchange proposes fee schedule, amend rule this, price below, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it gets boring after a while because I've gone through it so much, but I want to show you they're doing it right here with Ethereum now. And yet, media sources. Someone, I just saw this. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find it. I forget his name. I screenshotted it on my phone, but I know his name was, I want to say his name was Steven. I'm gonna find this. It's gonna drive me insane. But basically, I'm trying to show you. Yes, but don't bet on it. See, like they're creating noise here. Don't bet on it. Don't bet on it. Y'all are already fucking doing it. SIBO's creating its own exchange rules for it to be done. They're like, hey, we don't care about the SEC. We're doing it. They're telling them to fine tune, and it's almost like they're telling them, hey, we're in charge here. No, you're not. The SEC must decide whether to approve applications filed by SIBO to list Ether provided by VanEck and ARK. Okay. But SIBO already changed its rules for it, so we know it's going to get approved. It's just a matter of a when. Okay, and now we got Fit 21 involved. Well, there you go. So my stream, as you can see, what I wanted to do is dive into this. But they're okay. So you probably remember this. So I'm gonna highlight. Where is it? I can't even remember the name of it. Y'all definitely remembered it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, that's the name of it. Matrix Port. The reason why I'm laughing is I remember my father had called me during this time. Matrix Port comes out and says, "Hey, spot Bitcoin ETFs are going to get disproved. They're going to get denied." Who the fuck are you, Matrix Port? Since when have we ever heard anything from you that we wanted to listen to? With good research, we'd look back and see that you never mattered. Your information that you gave was so false that anyone who was doing research, because I remember telling my father, Dad, they're going to approve them. We already know they are. They're already getting listed. SIBO's already telling the SEC, hey, we're amending our rules. We're doing this. We're getting all our ducks in a row. It's the only reason why SEC was creating noise and creating all this jargon was to buy time for SIBO and them to get their ducks in a row. Get ready to launch what they already knew was going to be launched. Yet some no-name entity that you never went to before and asked, hey, Matrixport, give me your advice. Never have we said that in the crypto space. Yet they come out and say it, and Bitcoin drops like X amount percent during that time, and everyone starts, well, it wasn't the rich that freaked out, it was the retailers. All you people who are emotional with your money freaked out, but didn't stop to think, who is giving you that? So what source is giving you that information? Can I trust it? Or should I go to SIBO? Or should I go to the SEC's website? And should I search for Bitcoin ETFs and see who's filing what? And see good, credible research to disprove what Matrix Port tried to create was a world of confusion. And they're doing it with Ethereum now. Oh, Ethereum might not get approved. Bro, they're already approved. SIBO knows they're getting listed. Ethereum's going to be a digital asset. We know that. They're already in their filings, in their forms, and I could have dived into that now for you. But in their forms, they're already listed as a digital asset commodity. They already knew that. They mentioned that their blockchain is not controlled by just one person. How? Okay, let's go right here. I'll show you. Go in their amendment. You'll see in their own filings, they talk about Ethereum here. Text proposed rule change. Okay. The president. Okay, so then propose a rule change to this. I think this is just a rule change. I'll have to find to match. Okay, so yeah, this is just about the orders. Let's see if it has the background. No, it's not gonna have the background, so I'll have to give one that gives the background. Let me exit out of that for you. Timeout, close markets. Here we go. There's an amendment. So this is, yeah, right here. So we want to look at something like this. And we want to see, what are they saying about Ethereum, right? Purpose, disprove exchange filings, blah, blah, blah. Recently, a commission order granting proposals to list Bitcoin-based commodity trust and Bitcoin-based. Now they're getting ready to do Ethereum's, because this isn't Ethereum's filings. So background, Ethereum is a free software that is hosted on computers distributed throughout the globe. It employs an array of logic called a protocol to create a unified understanding of ownership, commercial activity, and business logic. This allows users to engage in commerce without the need to trust any of its participants or counterparties. Ethereum code creates verifiable and unambiguous rules that assign clear, strong property rights to create a platform for unrestrained business formation and free exchange. It is widely understood that no single intermediary or entity operates or controls the Ethereum network, therefore decentralized. The transaction, validation, and record-keeping infrastructure of which is collectively maintained by a disparate user base. The Ethereum network allows people to exchange tokens of value or ether, which are recorded on a distributed public record-keeping system or ledger known as a blockchain. They're already telling you they know it was decentralized. They did their research. They did the same with XRP. They're telling you, hey, this is a digital asset. These are commodities. These are the future. Okay? They're moving their money in front of your faces to such. So as you see, they continue to sell securities off like stocks, a system that they've rigged from the beginning. From only those with large amounts of money and insider information could actually really, really make it, or sit on it for 20 years and end up dying and never got to enjoy it. Crypto comes along and says, hey, we're in this wild, wild west, as Gary liked to say. And sure, we should go after the no-name projects that are dumping after a nice pump, so pump and dumps as we know them, that are just created to mimic such great projects like Shiba Inu or XRP or Solana or ADA, or I mean, I can keep going if you like, but there's so many coins out there that they just create, that some creator is able to fool you into saying, hey, we're the next Shiba Inu. No, you're not. I can Google search it. I can go through and do an SEC search. I can do a patent search. I can do all these types of credible informational trails on such projects and find that you have nothing. So only those that are actually serving a purpose have been doing their due diligence to put out such information, file the right patents, file the right stuff to launch such financial changing structure to the world on how a retailer has a chance to create its own destiny with cryptocurrency. The metaverse is coming. These are things that you really need to be looking at. Again, I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm showing you what I've been doing, and look at the information I just showed you here in the stream. I showed you JP Morgan is lying to your face. I showed you that XRP, even in the face of the SEC, held its top cryptocurrency spot and now is getting ready to put the SEC to bed. And cryptocurrency advocates, institutions, entities, individuals, angel investors, etc., they have weighed on actual congressmen and women to even U-turn. Chuck Schumer U-turned and went for this act. Realized, hey, cryptocurrencies are definitely something that provides some type of utilitarian value. Hell, to me, it's almost like it's bailing out the government. They're finding ways to create faster payment systems with cryptocurrency, secure. I mean, if you go and let me go back here. If you go to the patent search, okay, watch this. Cryptocurrency. So they have voting systems. If you type in blockchain and voting, they have already patented voting systems with blockchain technology. Literally. To show, we have, I'm not going to get political, but we've had candidates, we have things where people have decried voter fraud. Well, now they're going to make it on the blockchain to where fraud it is so minuscule, is so detectable, so on such a secure network. Thank you, Data 443. It will have clean voting. We should have government's budgets put on the blockchain so we can see where the fuck you're spending our money. You charge us taxes upon the taxes. You're charging us an income tax just to make money, and a capital gains tax because we figured out where rich were moving their money. Yet you let them have loopholes to not have to pay, and the middle class is always carrying the weight. That's another here or there story, but why can't we have our government's budget on a blockchain? Why can't we the people who give up our hard-earned money for you to survive, government, and why can't you be transparent and put it out for such? So we can see why Social Security keeps getting depleted, and we keep getting these risk notifications that it will be no longer in the future. Well, put it on the blockchain. Let us see for ourselves what the hell you're doing. This is why it's so important. This is why I'm telling you to get in now, even before the bull run takes off the rest of this year. They're building up regulations. They're building up acts that are getting passed. They're building up all their ducks in a row to not have a normal bull cycle. I know many of you think that it's going to mimic the last, several cycles where, we run through May of next year, we taper off through crypto summer, then we get the head and we peak in November, and then we get one more little spark and then it comes down. No, not with all this information, not with presidential candidates and bipartisan support and the largest GDP in the world making the CFTC provide regulatory clarity on which ones are commodities. They're setting this up to be a market class to get regulated and run for several years. Stocks are running for 10, 15 years plus. You're telling me they're not getting ready to set cryptocurrency up to do the same? Information's right there for you. So, as we close our stream here, as you can see, we touched a lot of information. I just want to recap and tell you, as a non financial advisor, do your research. If you've been in crypto, you've heard that before, DYOR. Do your own research. Well, now I'm here to do your own research for you. Reach out to me. Let me know what projects you're invested in. Maybe you're in Pepe. Maybe you're in Bonk. Maybe you're in some no-name Harry Potter, Obama Inu. I don't even know what the fuck. Send it in. Put it in the comments. Send me a message. Let me know what you're creating for your own future, and we'll dive into it together. Let's do the due diligence together. Let's research it. Let's see what patents are out there. Let's see what filings through the SEC are out there for it. What entities are filing right in your face with such? Did you make a good choice? Can we trust the rich? I mean, I think Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, even said it. JP Morgan's going to bash such just because it doesn't know from the right hand to the left hand basically the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's actually dabbling in because it's so big. Okay, well, Jamie, right here, the filings, the amount of money you're raking in fees, the words you say are being exposed because we see the proof of what the future is bringing. We see that the rich are setting themselves up to be involved to make sure that they make their money too, because they know that this is coming. Well, this is Kid Crypto coming to you live. I want to do live streams going forward too, but this is me coming to you in a live manner, pleading to you to subscribe, hit that like button, let me know what your thoughts are. I wish I had a dislike button so you could tell me constructive criticism as well. I mean, I want to know where we can dive in together. You let your brains go off on a tangent, say, hey, how do we research this, or how do we look into this? What databases should we tap into? As a data analytical nerd, someone who has built his career off of data analytics in a higher education government setting, left his job and has been dabbling in day trading and playing with cryptos and enjoying life. Let me give you some of my wisdom and knowledge. Let me take you on a journey, and we'll have this to look back at and say, wow, we made it. We've come far, and we're not stopping. U.S. regulation makes me believe that, more are to come. I mean, XRP alone has a company that they work with. If we go back here and look at XRP, and I just want to show this because this is very important. Remember that when China, if any of you have been in crypto for a while, remember when China ended up, as you remember, banning cryptos. Well, some of these in here, and I started going through and I'm like, well, how do we know what's going on, right? Like, what can we look at and see? And there's this company that comes up called Triangelo, I believe it's called. So let me find which report has it here. One of these reports has it. And it was so intriguing because you can see this is ARK. We know that they're doing something. It might be this one. Let's see. Annual. So not this one. We're going to find it here together. It might be even this one. I forget. Okay, it's not this one. Let me go here. It might be Galaxy. I think it was Galaxy. Yeah, it's this. I remember. Okay, so U.S. regulators, blah, blah, blah. Whether, okay. In addition, again, I've read through a lot of these, and your mind will start to be like, oh my God, they're really doing this in front of everybody. Let me just see here. Responding to inquiries, okay. So yeah, it's gonna be one of these S4s. I remember it was an S4. Might be infinite. Is it infinite? The reason I want to show you this is because these are companies that you want to remember. And you'll start to go through and see like who's using them. And this Trianglo company, and I think yeah, here you go, Trianglo. Direct to wallet transfers are available in Bangladesh, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Nepal, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Vietnam, and more to follow. Well, they expanded their payment system, and they actually are ones that are using Ripple. So if I go XRP, there you go. It is Infinite Court. Yeah, in Trianglo. So these are, I mean, they're literally getting ready to set. They're setting up with China. They're setting up with different areas to allow direct wallet transfers. Why? Yet we're supposed to believe that they're going to ban it. Come on. So I want to end this stream on. Let's do some research together. Let's expose. Let's, sorry, Jamie, can't hide from us. Can't hide from Kid Crypto. Not when the information's right there for me to go and research and find and see that you try to lie to people. You try to just make sure that you're the one making the money for your company. Well, retailers, individuals, my crypto aliens, let's do this together. I cannot thank you all enough for such a great stream. We touched base on XRP and SHIB, why I think they're going to be a big part of the future. Thank you, Shaitoshi, and your team, Cal. All of y'all out there working very hard, putting out an amazing opportunity for people to still get involved in something that's undervalued. XRP, Brad Garlinghouse, Mr. Schwartz, as I like to call you, the alien, Stewart, the legal team. I mean, what y'all are doing for people and what people need to see. This is the flip of the switch. Hopefully Kid Crypto can bring together Crypto Hulk and Austin Hilton, these great minds. Maybe we can all do, a podcast together, or we're all just answering questions for the communities, diving into where we're exposing our strong suits. Austin Hilton's really good with these charts, and Crypto Hulk's good with exposing information just like I am. Let's dive in there. Let's get Brad Garlinghouse. Let's get, Cal or somebody on a stream. Let's do an Ask Me Anything and really just dive in. And hopefully we don't break any NDAs that are signed or anything, but people need to see this information. They deserve to. So this is Crypto, and I'm out.